That's good. Thank you very much for being with us. Appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, please.
Sir, the first executive order we have prepared for your attention, there are currently laws on the books requiring certain disclosures of universities when they accept large foreign gifts. We believe that certain universities, including, for example, Harvard, have routinely violated this law, and this law has not been effectively enforced. So this executive order charges your departments and agencies with enforcing the laws on the books with respect to foreign gifts to American universities.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. We'll put it right here.
Next for you, sir, university accreditation is currently a process controlled by a number of third-party organizations. That's by statute, by law. Many of those third-party accreditors have relied on sort of woke ideology to accredit universities instead of accrediting based on merit and performance. This executive order affects a number of changes to the university accreditation process, also applies to law schools and other sort of graduate programs. But the basic idea is to force accreditation to be focused on the merit and the actual results that these universities are providing, as opposed to how woke these universities have gotten. So we're setting up new accreditation pathways. We're charging the Department of Education to really look holistically at this accreditation mess and hopefully make it much better.
Will we look into the past people that they've taken? For instance, I hear all about certain great schools, and then we read where they're going to teach people basic math that we could all do very easily, but they can't do. They're going to the top school, and they come out with a program of teaching basic math to somebody that got into a Harvard or a Princeton or a Yale. Is that part of this?
When universities are not performing appropriately, whether that's in admissions or whether that's in their actual instructional activities, that's certainly something that accreditors should be considering, that right now we believe they're not doing a good enough job of, and I think Secretary McMahon could probably speak to that better than I could.
So they're allowing people into school that can't do math, and yet kids who've worked really hard and #1 in their class in a high school someplace in New Jersey or in Mississippi, they can't get into the best schools. What is that all about?
Yeah, and I think that gets to your policy, sir, of meritocracy, that we should be looking at those who have real merit to get in, and we have to look harder at those universities that aren't enforcing that.
Okay, thank you. And this pretty much does it, right?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you.
Sir, during your first administration, you made promoting historically black colleges and universities, HBCUs, a major priority. This executive order takes existing law on HBCUs and brings it into effect. We're going to be setting up a White House initiative on HBCUs. The basic idea here is making sure that every aspect of your administration is working to ensure that HBCUs are able to do their job as effectively and as efficiently as possible. This next executive order relates to artificial intelligence education, sir. You've obviously done a lot in the artificial intelligence space already. The basic idea of this executive order is to ensure that we properly train the workforce of the future by ensuring that school children, young Americans are adequately trained in AI tools so that they can be competitive in the economy years from now into the future as AI becomes a bigger and bigger deal.
That's a big deal because AI is where it seems to be at. We have literally trillions of dollars being invested in AI. And somebody today, a very smart person, said that AI is the way to the future. I don't know if that's right or not, but certainly very smart people are investing in it heavily.
Next here we have an executive order on workforce development. This executive order is going to charge numerous departments and agencies within the government to reshape the way that we do workforce development. One example from the executive order, for instance, we're looking to get the total number of apprenticeships, new apprenticeships, up to 1 million in the country to ensure that in critical jobs areas, in areas where we currently don't have enough trained workers, that we're recreating that pipeline to ensure that, particularly as we onshore industrial jobs and new industries, that those industries have the workforce they need to be competitive globally.
Okay. Very important.
And this is the EO that we're all here working together.
And in a way, this is like a training center, right, for what we're trying to do, which is jobs and great salaries. These are great salaries, too.
Right, it's exactly. So all those factories that you're bringing in because of your trade policy, we're going to train people in trade craft, bring back trade craft to America so that people can work in these factories with great paying jobs, and we're going to train them, and we're going to remake the American dream for all these people. We're working together.
That's
right, Lori?
Absolutely. This plays right into America at Work Tour, which I have kicked off. We will work with our state partners and work with our businesses to see exactly who they need in that workforce, and we will skill and upskill these apprentices so they can get right to work and get in the field and build back this economy for exactly living the American dream. Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
Next, sir, we have an executive order on school discipline policies. Under, I believe it was the Biden administration, first Obama and then Biden, the Department of Justice issued guidance that made it almost impossible for schools to enforce adequate disciplinary policies. This created issues in the classroom for teachers and students alike. Basically, they focused on CRT and sort of diversity ideology instead of actually just enforcing the rules in classrooms to ensure a safe learning environment. This executive order revokes that prior guidance and puts us back in a place where hopefully the Department of Education can focus on education and teachers can focus on teaching in a safe environment.
And this was important for you, Linda, as I understand it.
Yeah, absolutely, because it gives teachers the authority now to have discipline in their classroom and discipline the person who is being disruptive. We took that away.
Okay. Thanks.
Cool.
You, Linda, you should hold that.
Lastly, sir, we have an executive order on disparate impact theory. This is a theory that underlies a lot of the modern DEI and CRT-driven diversity culture. The basic idea here is instructing your departments and agencies to no longer rely on disparate impact theory as they're regulating, as they're issuing guidance, as they're making rules. We want to focus on results. We want to focus on actual fairness. We want to focus on merit, not things like disparate impact theory and the whole sort of diversity, equity, and inclusion cult.
It's getting out of that, huh?
Yes, sir.
미국 하버드대학이 현지 시각 21일 트럼프 행정부의 지원금 중단이 위법하다며 이를 멈춰달라고 소송을 제기했습니다. 앨런 가버 하버드대 총장은 이날 성명을 내고 지난주 연방정부는 하버드대가 불법적인 요구 수용을 거절한 이후 여러 조치들을 취했다며 이는 정부 권한을 넘어서 위법하기 때문에 소송을 제기했다라고 밝혔습니다. 하버드대는 이날 공개한 소장에서 정부는 하버드대가 학문 프로그램에 대한 정부 통제를 받아들이도록 압박하기 위해 하버드에 대한 지원금 지원을 중단했다고 주장했습니다. 앞서 하버드대나 컬럼비아대의 교수진이 트럼프 행정부의 보조금 지원 중단과 관련해 연방정부를 상대로 소송을 제기한 적은 있지만 대학 측이 소송을 제기한 건 이번이 처음입니다. 트럼프 정부는 캠퍼스 내 반유대주의 근절 등을 이유로 하버드대에 노골적으로 교칙 변경을 요구해왔습니다. 그러나 하버드대가 이를 공개적으로 거부하자 연방보조금 3조 원가량을 동결했고 1조 4천억 원 규모의 보건연구지원금 철회도 검토하고 있습니다. 트럼프는 또 하버드대의 면세 지위를 박탈하고 외국인 유학생의 비자 박탈 문제까지 언급하는 등 강도 높은 보복 조치를 예고한 바 있습니다. CBS 뉴스는 트럼프 행정부의 이번 소송에 대한 입장을 물었지만 즉시 답이 오지 않았다고 보도했습니다. KBS 뉴스 고혜람입니다.
미국 전역의 대학 총장들이 도널드 트럼프 행정부가 학문의 자유를 침해한다며 규탄 성명을 냈습니다. 현지시각 22일 뉴욕타임즈 등 미국 언론에 따르면 이날 미국 전역의 대학 총장들과 연구기관장 220여 명은 트럼프 행정부가 대학을 통제하려 하고 있다고 비판하는 내용의 공동 성명을 발표했습니다. 이들은 연방정부의 과도하고 정치적인 개입이 현재 미국 교육을 위험에 빠뜨리고 있다고 주장했습니다. 이들은 캠퍼스에서 배우고 생활하고 일하는 사람들의 삶에 대한 정부의 과도한 침해에 반대한다며 고등교육의 자유를 축소하는 것의 대가는 우리 학생들과 사회가 치르게 될 것이라고 경고했습니다. 현재까지 이 성명에는 대학 총장 등 전국 각지의 대학 고위 당국자 224명이 서명한 것으로 알려집니다. 성명에는 버지니아대나 위스콘신 메디슨대 같은 대규모 공립대뿐 아니라 매사추세츠대 에머스트 캠퍼스나 오하이오주 캐년 컬리지 등 소규모 사립대 당국자들도 이름을 올렸습니다. 뉴욕타임즈는 미국 전역 대학 총장들이 이번 서명에 참여한 것은 트럼프 대통령이 학계에 가하는 위협이 상당하다는 점을 보여준다고 지적했습니다. 앞서 트럼프 정부는 캠퍼스 내 반유대주의 근절 등을 이유로 교내 정책 변경을 하버드대에 요구했으나 하버드대는 이런 요구가 학문의 자유 침해라며 거부했습니다. 그러자 트럼프 행정부는 수년간 나눠 지급하는 22억 달러, 약 3조 원 규모의 보조금을 즉각 동결했습니다. 하버드대는 이 같은 트럼프 행정부 조치가 위법이라며 지난 21일 이를 멈춰달라는 소송을 제기했습니다. KBS 뉴스 신선민입니다.
Now, if the best or near best private university in America or the world can say no, if it can defy the Trump regime, even at the expense, at a big expense, and I'll get into this in a moment, if it can do that, then the best public university in America and the world must do the same. Tyranny cannot exist unless people submit to it. And we are not going to submit.
There's one thing that we are all committed to. It is the safety of our students, and that we will not allow them to be picked off. We will not let them be threatened for exercising their First Amendment rights. And we certainly won't sit by while there's political litmus tests applied to them that potentially puts them in real harm's way.
I believe in the Constitution. I believe in inalienable rights, which is a big part of my curriculum. In rights that you are naturally born with and that cannot be taken away, at least in theory.
But this is not politics anymore. This is our lives. This is our fundamental relationship with our country and ourselves. And this is not a drill. And I think it's hard to recognize that when we've been living our whole lives in a fire and in a crisis. But this is not a drill. This one's different.
미국에선 트럼프 대통령과 대학들 간의 갈등이 증폭되고 있습니다. 미국 우선주의 가치에 맞는 학생과 교수를 뽑으라며 지원금 옥죄기로 압박하고 있는데 하버드 대학이 이를 공개 거부하고 나섰습니다. 김영순 기자입니다.
지난해 미국 대학가에 번졌던 팔레스타인 지지 시위. 트럼프 대통령은 시위 참여 학생들이 미국의 가치를 위협하고 반유대주의를 조장한다며 체포하고 있습니다. 그리고는 본보기를 보여주겠다는 듯 하버드 대학을 겨냥했습니다. 트럼프 행정부는 하버드에 미국적 가치관에 반하는 외국 학생의 입학을 금지하라고 요구하고 이념적으로 편향됐다며 중동센터와 케네디 스쿨은 행정부가 감시하겠다는 지침도 내렸습니다. 하버드 대학은 공개 거부했습니다. 어떤 정부도 사립대학이 무엇을 가르칠 수 있는지, 누구를 입학시키고 고용할 수 있는지, 어떤 연구를 할지 지시해서는 안 된다는 겁니다. 트럼프 대통령은 약 3조 원의 연방 지원금 삭감을 지시했고 이어 대학이 갖는 면세 지위까지 박탈하겠다고 했습니다. 재정적으로 목줄을 죄겠다는 겁니다. 이에 오바마 전 대통령은 학문의 자유를 억압하려는 시도에 하버드가 모범을 보였다며 연대를 촉구했습니다.
All of the institutions that are facing this extortion by the Trump administration individually may not be powerful enough to resist. But I think collectively, they do have a tremendous amount of resources.
MIT가 하버드의 뒤를 이어 트럼프의 지침을 거부한다고 밝혔고 예일과 스탠퍼드에선 교수들이 트럼프의 항의 성명을 냈습니다. KBS 뉴스 김양순입니다.